This is 7 News, the voice of the Riverina.
Tonight, Riverina residents about to be hit with some of the highest rate hikes in decades.
A couple arrested after drugs were allegedly seized from their home.
I'm Daniel Gibson. Later on this news hour, the RBA boss blames everyday Aussies for repeated rate hikes. And the hostage swap put off for days until Hamas signs off on the ceasefire.
7 News begins now.
Good evening. Cash-strapped Riverina councils are struggling to stay above water and many are proposing exorbitant rate rises.
Narrandera is hoping to lift rates by a whopping 43% over 2 years. Hilltops was planning to apply for a rise of more than 100%, but they've now backed down, with many residents simply unable to pay.
It's been a week for rate decisions in the Riverina. Hilltops, the latest council to hold a meeting discussing future financial options.
It culminated last night in us not going with a rate rise that was anywhere near what was proposed, which was up over the 100% mark in regards to an increase over a number of years.
A rate rise of 107% over 4 years was knocked back after hearing from residents unable to afford such an astronomical rate hike.
I think councillors are focused now on seeing what the General Manager and the Mayor can do to look at internal efficiencies and see where money can be saved.
But Narrandera Council is pushing ahead with plans to apply for a rate hike above the state government cap.
Part of that process is a round of community consultation that they will do. Direct to ratepayers. We're not involved in that. And we expect IPART to make a determination perhaps at the end of April, early May.
If the special variation is approved, rates will go up 25.5% in the first year and 18% in the second.
If there are people that find themselves in genuine distress, then they can come to the council and they'll be treated fairly.
IPART sets the rate peg, which is the maximum amount a council can increase its income, but is changing the methodology for determining that peg. Under new methodology based on population, council staff and operating cost, Wagga's rate peg will increase to 5% from 3.8%. The changes are being welcomed. It's hoped councils won't have to keep applying for special rate variations. Marla Summer, 7 News.
2 people have been charged as part of an ongoing investigation into alleged drug importation in the state's south. The street value of the methamphetamine seized is approximately $250,000. Marla Summer joins us now. And Marla, what happened in the lead up to the arrest?
Maddie, police executed a search warrant at a Griffith home where they allegedly seized 1.5 kilograms of methamphetamine, cannabis and electronics. A 42-year-old man and a 45-year-old woman were then arrested and have now faced Griffith local court. Both were charged with possessing prohibited drugs and unlawful importation of drugs. The man was also charged with failing to comply with a digital evidence access order and breaching bail. Both have been refused bail and are set to return to court on January 18. Maddie.
Thanks for the update, Marla. Marla Summer reporting there tonight.
A Wagga gym has launched a fitness program to help with the cost of living. They're offering free memberships to teenagers for the school holidays to keep them active and healthy without straining the budget.
The current cost of living is enough to spike the heart rate on its own, but one local gym has found a healthier way for kids to get their blood pumping.
The Team Fit Pass incentive is essentially a free membership to our Planet Fitness gym here in Wagga.
Bringing household budgets down and building fitness up, it's hoped the new program will improve access to exercise right across the community.
I hope to get out of it getting fit on the off season because I just want to be fit for netball, and I think it's really good that it's free and friends can come together.
I only have my mum, so just having something that's cheap and easy to get and access would be a lot on people who are lower class.
For teenagers like Georgia Wharton, the program means she'll be able to continue to boost her confidence in new settings.
I was very worried about it, but then eventually I started getting confident in myself to know that I'll do pretty good.
This gives her independence, freedom and autonomy to exercise.
An added bonus for families with school nearly out for the summer and parents looking to keep their teenagers busy.
It's going to keep her more active over the school holiday period rather than sitting on the couch watching TV or, on the phone.
The free membership is available until February next year, with teenagers encouraged to make the most of it while they can.
Parents and guardians can be assured we provide a safe and supportive environment for their teenagers.
Emily Francis, 7 News.
The member for Wagga has once again fought for underground power lines in Parliament. In a debate, Dr Joe McGurr stressed that the planned overhead power lines are an example of how privatisation is driving a development based on cost and not what's best for the community.
Communities actually feel as if the government's been removed from them for the sake of private profit. It's about something they believe is happening to them, not for them.
The member for Wagga says the cost of putting power lines underground should come from the companies directly in charge of the projects.
A criminal case against a former Wagga MP returned to a Sydney court today. Daryl Maguire is facing a charge of giving false and misleading evidence to the state's anti-corruption watchdog. Emily Francis joins us now. And Emily, what's the latest?
Nick, the charges relate to evidence that Daryl Maguire gave during an investigation into corruption at Canterbury Council. If convicted, Maguire could face a maximum penalty of 5 years behind bars. The matter was adjourned today and won't be heard again until next year, but the disgraced former MP will also front court on a separate charge of visa fraud next month. Maguire is expected to enter a plea, with the matter then to progress to sentencing or trial. Nick.
OK, thanks for the update, Emily. That's Emily Francis reporting for us tonight.
Some of Wagga's leaders in housing infrastructure are putting their heads together to solve the region's housing crisis. Almost 100 people attended a community forum focusing on how to cut red tape around land development. Speakers urged developers to put the public interest before profit.
Developers and builders, they've got their own agenda, which is not necessarily the agenda of everyday Australians who want to own a home. And a lot of the time we have been the victim to what they want to produce rather than what we need for us.
The Rowan Village Estate south of Wagga will begin next year.
It's National Skin Cancer Action Week and the Cancer Council is urging us to do more to protect our skin. Sadly, Australia has the highest rate of skin cancer in the world, but there are plenty of ways to minimise that risk.
Slip, slop, slap, seek and slide.
It's a tale as old as time with an enduring message.
Have fun outside, but don't get fried.
Reinforced by one of the region's most well-known sun safety advocates.
Part of my role is to increase that awareness of being safe in the sun. Not to be afraid of the sun, but be safe.
A timely reminder that as temperatures rise, so too does the risk of the invisible killer.
Every time we're getting sunburnt, that's more and more damage that's being done to our skin, and it's putting us at a higher risk of developing a skin cancer or a melanoma.
With the community urged to protect themselves and their kids this summer.
Our children rely on us. We determine the skin cancer risks. We protect them.
By the time children are 9 to 11 years old, 29% already have UV damage. By the age of 12 to 15, it increases to 81%.
Children get the actual damage, but in adulthood is when you get the disease.
Melanoma is the leading cause of cancer for 20 to 39-year-olds, and for those in that age bracket, the message is clear. Get checked and stay sun safe.
We're lucky here in Wagga. All GP practices except for one do formal skin checks.
Emily Francis, 7 News.
Well, Kirsty joins us now with a look at today's weather. And Kirsty, quite windy out there today, quite warm too.
That's right, Maddie. Nick, hello to you both and good evening, everybody. We also had quite a high humidity across the region. That was particularly this morning. It didn't drop until the afternoon, but that was when those winds picked up. East-northeasterlies gusting up to 30 kilometres an hour today. Our temperatures sat around the high 20s into the low 30s once again around Wagga and for Lockhart, with a bit of scattered blue sky around. The winds and the warmth also saw our fire danger rating return to a high level across the Riverina and the southwest slopes. Some cloud cover did move in during the afternoon, but despite this, our UV remained at a very high level. Now, we could see some late storms about into tonight, some of which could become severe. That's ahead of periods of moderate to heavy rain over the next few days. I'll have Friday's forecast shortly.
OK, sounds good, Kirsty. Thank you.
Still to come in 7 News, a campaign to prevent strokes with 80% deemed preventable.
And if you're thinking of a career change, TAFE can help, and it's for free.
And a little later on this news hour, inflation now homegrown. Why the RBA boss says a haircut and a trip to the dentist is to blame. Delays for the exchange of Palestinian prisoners and Israeli hostages. And 2 people killed in an explosion after a car loses control at the US-Canada border.
Welcome back. The Riverina is once again leading the future of healthcare with the rollout of a new trial. 6 virtual hubs have been set up across the Murrumbidgee Local Health District, fitted with the equipment needed for a remote consultation. The telehealth program is already being labelled as a success.
The virtual hubs are making a really big difference for patients living in rural and regional areas who have poor or no internet access and don't have the equipment needed or do not have the confidence to use virtual care unaided.
The local health district will consider rolling out virtual hubs to other facilities across the region.
Thousands of extra TAFE places will soon be up for grabs, and it's all fee-free. It's hoped the no-cost tertiary courses will help fill critical shortages in healthcare, hospitality and construction.
If you're a New South Wales resident wanting to train, retrain or upskill, your time is now.
This is absolutely critical. What it means is it provides access for our learners without having those financial barriers.
The Albanese and Minns governments have announced an additional 147,400 tuition-free study opportunities at TAFE for the next 3 years, made possible with $130 million of Commonwealth government funding.
Focusing in on the key priorities for our state, it's enabling our learners to gain new skills that are critical for the workforce now and into the future.
It builds on the success of fee-free TAFE this year. As of June 30th, the freebies attracted record enrolments across New South Wales. There were more than 20,700 enrolments in the care sector alone, and Ms Rowe is one of them.
I have been loving it. It is a complete 360 from what I've done previously. I cannot rate my teachers enough.
The 34-year-old began a Certificate 3 in Individual Support in Ageing in August. Currently, she is on maternity leave from an admin role with 10-month-old twins, a toddler and dedication to her studies.
When it comes to education and empowering people to pursue careers, waiving that fee is the biggest step up they can get.
Students are limited to enrolling in one fee-free course per semester. These include opportunities in healthcare, hospitality and construction industries.
Enrol now, don't wait. You will not regret it, not for a single moment.
Rochelle Punikovic, 7 News.
A Lavington aged care worker is striding it out through the month of November for stroke awareness. The campaign, Stride for Stroke, encourages Aussies to be active, with the reports that up to 80% of strokes are preventable.
Striding for a good cause.
We love all our residents so much, so I just wanted to try and give something back.
Natalie Payne is stepping up and striding out, raising funds and awareness for the Stroke Foundation, a cause close to her heart.
Stroke affects so many of my residents, whether it be friends and family or them themselves. It can take people so quickly.
If I were 40 years younger, I'd be doing it myself. It's just wonderful that she's using the joy of the people that she's known who have tried so hard with their stroke.
Great-grandmother Rowena Gins is a stroke survivor herself, but also lost her husband Bill to the condition 12 months ago.
And his stroke was just like that. And it isn't until you can't do something that you suddenly realise, goodness me, this makes an enormous difference.
The message behind the Stride for Stroke campaign is all too important, not only for residents at the facility, but also for the wider community.
It can be older people, but it can take young people so much as well.
Raising the awareness to recognise the signs and symptoms, Ms Gins says, can be life-saving.
And do what you can while you can. And I think that's the important thing. Able to bring joy to others too, and that's really the object of living.
You can visit the Stroke Foundation website to donate. Claire Sienta, 7 News.
Still to come in 7 News, the local speed demon matches the best in the world.
And yet another local footy player called up to the AFL. Welcome back. We begin with soccer tonight, and Lake Albert has taken a major step towards a return to the Leonard Cup after appointing a new women's coach. Brooke Gaylor will take on her first senior coaching role with the Sharks following the collapse of the Wagga City Wanderers women's program. A Lake Albert junior, Gaylor has been part of the Wanderers since it all began. The AFL draft has been capped off by yet another local selection. Nathan Wardius has been called up, however, he won't be changing his colours anytime soon.
Those that missed out Monday and Tuesday with a last chance to realise their dreams. Nathan Wardius waking up from his rookie listed by Greater Western Sydney.
It doesn't feel real really at the moment, but once I move up there on Saturday and start meeting the boys, I think get to work and it'll come quicker than I thought.
Under the rookie system, Wardius will train with the squad but will only play AFL football once upgraded to the main list. The Ranwell-Bundry Waller Giants product playing 2 games for GWS reserves this year while kicking 55 goals for his home club. His athletic ability, speed and pure class attracting the recruiters.
The last couple of years they've changed a bit and they're a running team and that, so probably my speed and agility and a bit of athleticism in that. So, probably suits what they're trying to go for, maybe.
Wardius and his family were actually told 2 weeks ago the club wanted him.
Probably 10 or so of the players have messaged me and, had a lot of support. And, I had a lunch yesterday with a couple of the boys that got drafted. So that was good to meet them and, catch up with all the recruiters.
It will now be a whirlwind few days with Wardius off to Sydney Saturday morning before a club induction on Monday. He will then join fellow local draftee Phoenix Gothard for 3 weeks of training before Christmas.
The culture we have at our club at Rand, Wagga Wagga, it's amazing. And, I've grown up with all the blokes, or most of them. And, it's the best part of the week playing with the boys and training and that. So it's really enjoyable.
Stephen Murphy, 7 News.
It's one of the world's toughest sports, but one Riverina speed demon is more than holding his own. Archie McDonald is back home after competing against the best junior superbike riders in the world.
2 years ago, Archie McDonald and his dad packed up their life and headed to Spain. 1 year later, Dad came back as Archie joined the Junior World European Championship circuit.
Getting to the track by myself, flying by myself. I flew 35 times this year, a solo, and just doing everything by myself. I've learnt more than I did 9 years at school, and I can't wait to go back next year, honestly.
The Junior GP is designed as a pathway in the sport for the world's best junior riders to compete. And compete Archie did against 30 riders, including some world champions, the 17-year-old finishing 5th.
This year I finished 5th, missing out on 4th by 1 point, and I was close to a podium this year, but with that result on my first year as a rookie, I think will be a good step for next year, and I think I will have a crack at winning the championship if I get lucky.
Stepping onto a 600cc along with new tracks to navigate the biggest challenges. His top speed up to 296 kilometres per hour, and Archie says he can't wait to reach 300.
It's like riding a horse. It's nothing. It is an adrenaline rush, but there's nothing better than that, going at that speed.
Now back in Australia, the rising star won't be resting anytime soon as he prepares to head to Adelaide next week for the Australian Superbike Championship.
And for Archie McDonald, it's a perfect way to sign off the season. A 3rd place for him on the MRE Talent Yamaha.
Archie will head back for a 2nd season in March and is hoping to attract some local sponsorship.
The next step for me would probably be Moto2. And if you get lucky there, you go up to the World Championship. And after Moto2 is MotoGP, and that's the highest level you can get to.
Stephen Murphy, 7 News.
Up next in 7 News, Kirsty is back and she's got an in-depth look at what the weather is doing over the next few days.
Welcome back, everyone. Humidity has increased across New South Wales thanks to a high-pressure system directing warm but moisture-laden air into the state. Meanwhile, a trough is also generating widespread showers and isolated thunderstorms. This pattern will continue through the end of the week and into the weekend ahead. Decent rainfall totals are forecast for many, but localised areas could see more than 100 millimetres of rain. That amount of rainfall could also increase the risk of flooding. Across the Riverina, we could see as much as 60 millimetres over the coming 8 days or so. Well, it is Friday tomorrow. Let's see what's in store, and we'll feel those cooler temperatures for the end of the working week compared to today, under mostly cloudy skies, looking to become unsettled across the day too. We are expecting periods of rainfall with up to about 20 millimetres. Heavier falls could develop though if severe thunderstorms arrive. Quite a windy day, Adelong 27 and Cootamundra 24 degrees. Through to Saturday, more moderate to heavy rain is forecast, between 5 and 20 millimetres. Again, with some storms rumbling across the region. Temperatures at Griffith and West Wyalong reaching 28 degrees with a north to northeasterly wind blowing. Adelong 27, the same for Temora, and similar conditions in the high 20s for Tumut. It will be much of the same for Sunday, the mid to high 20s, but once again with that chance of showers. At this stage, that chance reducing to around 10 millimetres of rain, and it will be partly cloudy, so we will see some areas of clear sky, that accompanied though by strong and cool winds tending southwesterly. On to the next 7 days now, we will see showers continue for the coming week. Temperatures also remaining around about the low to mid 20s. Tomorrow, rainfall on the forecast. We can expect it to arrive from around about lunchtime, guys.
Plenty of rain about.
Yeah, sure is.
Thanks, Kirsty. All right, now for a quick look at fuel prices around the region. In Griffith, Liberty Oil is offering unleaded for $1.84 and diesel for $2 a litre. The Metro Petroleum service station in West Wyalong has unleaded for $1.98 and diesel for $2.10. And in Leeton, the Ampol service station along Pine Avenue has unleaded for $1.98 and they're selling diesel for $2.19 a litre.
And that's your local news for tonight. Thanks for your company. You can catch up on our website or, of course, at 7+.
Right now, Dan's got your national news. Enjoy your night. We'll see you tomorrow at 6 o'clock.